Yo, welcome back to another recap. Today we didn't take anything. We didn't take any trade. I mean, I did on my live, but break even. I'll show you what we went through. So in this trade recap, I've got. So we got our old session time frames. Our old session times, and we have a new session time that we need to follow, and I'll explain now. So yeah, break even on the day, basically. First trade of the week. Didn't win anything, just break even, full on break even. Yeah, so let's get into it. Right, so coming into market, right? Oh wait, I'll just search up that indicator. Put this down. Yeah, it's down. Yo, so coming into market, right? Actually, yesterday, me and the boys were marking out areas that New York will possibly go to. So we had this 4-hour gap, right? And this 4-hour first presented gap, right? So since we marked those out, we went on a 1-hour and looked for some more areas, which we got here. Let's just make it red, forget it. And yeah, so we marked those out yesterday, and we came into market thinking it's either we push up from these areas and go higher for all-time highs. That's what I was thinking. Or we just disrespect it and we don't trade. We weren't really looking to go shorts because we're literally at all-time highs. It's either you're buying or you're not trading. You gotta be proven wrong on a higher time frame. And in that time frame, we weren't proven wrong at all. I mean, that's just the rules for all-time highs, right? So coming into market, this is what I took. So I knew that Asia's lows was here, Asia's highs was there. We manipulated Asia's lows to get Asia's highs, and then London session came in, right? So disregard Asia session. London session showed us that we got the low here and high here, close to all-time highs there. So this line here is all-time highs plus London highs there. So we manipulated London lows, hoping I'm right here, hoping to go for all-time highs basically. But we manipulated London lows, hoping we will push up to get London highs and also all-time highs. So market open, we push lower. Why do we push lower though? So here's what I was thinking. Since we got that 1-hour gap, right? Thought we're gonna manipulate all this consolidation and get more liquidity in that London in that 1-hour gap, and then push up. Right, so I was looking for longs here, and we're around here. We manipulated lower, right? So we're around here. There was a 3-minute gap. 3-minute gap was right here on this whole leg. This was the only higher time frame gap that was created. Yeah, so we got this 3-minute gap, and I was looking for an inversion. We got that inversion on this candle here, and my stops was below this low, and 55 points. So we entered the trade here. This internal high was my break even line, so we were in the trading, and then we hit my break even line, so I put my stops to break even, and then price just takes me out. Yeah, so I got stopped out at break even, didn't lose anything, didn't win anything, and that was my trade for the day because we ended up just chopping. I didn't find any other entry other than that. But yeah, so that is one of the one of the session times that people consider. Me is one of the session times that I also considered before. Now, what makes a lot more sense to me is that during this during this session time, this was Asia's highs, and this was Asia's lows, because my understanding is this was Asia's lows. Oh, yeah. So this was Asia's highs and this was Asia's lows. Oh my days. What is that? Bruh. Okay. So this was Asia's lows. This was Asia's highest point and lowest point. Right, so we get manipulated, we come down, we take out internal lows, we push higher, manipulate more, and also take out those equal highs. So looking at that, London wants to distribute lower, right? And why do they want to distribute lower? One, for the first presented 4-hour gap, and also for discount, and also for other liquidities on lower time frames, right? So we manipulated, right? We manipulated higher during London, then we start distributing. When we came into market, New York should have shown or given us the idea to short for continuation, not a reversal, because London gave us the move, New York gave us the continuation. So, in saying that, our model presents itself after distributing. So around here, we accumulate higher, or we manipulate higher above this accumulation into this 1 minute mitigated fair value gap. I'm just gonna put rainbows on this, bruh. So we manipulated into that 1 minute mitigated gap, and also into this what they call order block, right? Because we just tapped into that order block. So we manipulate up, and straight after that we look for an inversion. Then we get the inversion right here, and this would have been our trade. So we take that, stops above this high at 19 points stop loss, and probably, realistically speaking, I would have aimed for 75 points, which would have been there, and that would have been my trade. It would have taken ages, but that would have been my trade. And that is all after news. And what we had on our news was, what did we have for our news? We had PMI at 145 and Trump speaking at 150. So this trade that happened, where did it even go? Oh, yeah, this trade that happened was after all of that. So yeah, so if we were to actually like full port that, and speaking from when we analyzed everything, we would have full ported and got at least 99 points. Full porting to what we discussed about during Asia session yesterday, because of that 4-hour presented fair value gap, which is here. So yeah, 75 points would have been my trade if I was to take this. But yeah, that's the only reason why I didn't take it, is because the first time, so the reason why I didn't take it was because the first time I showed that Asia's highs were manipulated, Asia's lows was manipulated, so we disregard Asia's lows, right? Nah. Apparently, from what the boys were saying, apparently the Asia highs and lows that I showed just now for this setup going shorts was the go, because there's always, between each session, London, Asia, New York, there's always a gap. And majority of the traders consider those gaps as the previous session. So Asia and London, there's a gap between that. They still consider that as Asia until London opens fully. And the same with New York and London, then the gap, then New York. They always consider that whole session, even with that gap, London. So yeah, that was what was going on, and we had to readjust, update. We had to update our our session times. So yeah, that would have been our trade. This one would have been our trade. It would have been a banger trade, honestly. But we got a break even day. So yeah, that's our recap for today. Nothing much, eh? That's our recap. Nothing else to add on. So yeah, break even on the date. Catch you up in the next one. Peace.